In this video, I'm going to explain the focusing illusion and how you can persuade anyone with it. I'm Dr. Dan. I'm a coach and a consultant. I help entrepreneurs just like you go to the next level in their life and their business by working higher and not harder. So I'm going to break this down. It is called the focusing illusion. Why it is important to you is because you can convince and or persuade people very ethically and morally using this brain-based strategy that always gets results. No matter if you're an introvert or you're an extrovert, no matter if you're shy or outgoing, no matter if you think money grows on trees or you think it's abundant, you can use this strategy to help serve people. So let me break it down. There is nothing as important in the entire world as the thing you are focused on right now. It is the focusing illusion. This fascinates me. Think about what magic is. Magic is an illusion of focus. Great magicians do one thing really well. They get you to focus your attention over here so they can change something over here. I was never big into magic growing up, but I know with some of those early tricks, they just wanted you to create an illusion. There's something known as this focusing illusion in your brain. Think back to when you were in high school and you had a test, a huge test. The only thing that mattered to you was that test score. I remember being in college and I had a chemistry test and I was so stressed out over this thing, thinking that if I don't pass this, it was going to be the end of the world. I literally thought that there would be no way I could recover. I know you can relate, and this is what we call the focusing illusion, that the thing you're focused on creates such an importance in your mind, you think it's the only thing that matters. Now, why is this important to you? Well, think about your current problem or struggle. Chances are you think it is the only thing that matters in this world. But there's going to be a day, probably sooner than later, where it's going to be gone. Yet we don't do a good job of reminding ourselves that it's gone and it really wasn't that big of a deal. It's called the focusing illusion. It is a cognitive bias. Did you know that in 2005, after Hurricane Katrina, one of the biggest businesses that took off was home and catastrophic insurance? Why? Because there was a focus on Hurricane Katrina. This big thing happened and nobody wanted to experience the consequences that some of the people in the New Orleans area were experiencing. So we all ran off to control something. We took an action. The same thing happened after 9/11. In 2001 and 2002, one of the biggest businesses to boom was home security alarm system. Why? Did people think that terrorists were going to come to their subdivision and attack? No. It was the action step that they could take because they felt unsafe. They felt that the biggest and most important thing was their safety because they were focused on this illusion that safety was at risk. Now, was it? To a certain degree, but to the degree that we acted upon that? No. So this is an example of the focusing illusion. There was research done, and this is where you can use this to your advantage. If you are anyone trying to convince or persuade somebody else of something, you can use it to your advantage, and here's how. Research shows that when these questions were asked to college students, the results were shockingly different. So in the first situation, they asked the question, number one, rate your satisfaction of life, and number two, rate your satisfaction of your dating life. They got a certain response from that and they measured it. Then all they did is they took a different group of students and they reversed the order of the questions. Rate the satisfaction of your dating life, and then they asked them rate the satisfaction of your life. And as you can imagine, the satisfaction of their life dropped off the shelf when they first asked the question of how satisfied you are with your dating life. It got them to think that my satisfaction of my dating life must have something to do with my overall life satisfaction. All they did was ask a question in the right order. It creates a cognitive bias, better known as the focusing illusion. It's almost like magic, but it's not magic. It's neuroscience. So if you're out there and you're communicating to anybody, anytime about something you want them to believe or buy into or take action on, I will say the number one thing you can implement is the right questions at the right time. Do this correctly and people will follow you. They will take action on what you tell them to, and they will buy from you every single time. If you need help on this, this is what we specialize in. Click the link below for more resources on this specific topic and so much more. That's it for me. See? Focusing illusion, I'm focusing you on. I clap. Dr. Dan, I'm out.